Oh, great. I mean, the judiciary as a third arm of the government, as an independent body, impacts the life of the citizen to a great extent. I mean, we depend on them to interpret the constitution, to interpret laws. For example, issue of fundamental human rights that we have in Chapter 4 of the Constitution. Only the court can interpret that. If your right has been impinged, you feel that your right has been trampled upon, it's the court that will go and, you go and settle that. If you don't have the court, or you believe it's one man that is supposed to settle it, I mean, that person may be biased, but we believe we have confidence in the judiciary to settle that. And then the issue of contracts, is the judiciary that help us to interpret and settle it. Cases of custody of children is the judiciary, is the court. Even election matters.
Okay, yes, you are citing a very good example.
Yeah.
But let me give you one example. So we have a traffic violation. Who now settles it? I hear someone say he was recommended to go to a
psychiatric.
Yes.
Yeah, so sometimes the courts can put it in their judgment. You recommend so person because there are defenses to offenses in law. Instead of you getting the full punishment, the court will look at whether you act under provocation or you have mental illness.
And the psychiatric hospital will be somewhere in Borno State. Somewhere close to Lake Chad. How do you explain that?
I don't know that Lake Chad. Let's say it. What did happen in the state?
No.
Where did it happen?
Somewhere around the city.
I was just speaking on behalf of the person. Maybe the person told the judge or told the lawyer that that he's mentally, that he had a mental issue or a problem. But now taking him all the way to Borno State, I don't think that is a good. In fact, even when you tell the court that you have mental issue, there will be an expert that will confirm that you actually have it. If everybody will defend, will use mental issue. So you have to prove that you actually have that mental case. But you taking him to, is he still going to sponsor him to go to the lake? Is it the state? Is it the government?
But for example, let me cite an example now. I have a landlord. For example, I'm unable to pay my rent. I can access my landlord, plead and beg. But in some other clients, for example, the UK, the United States, some of these yes, are automated. So you don't really have direct contact with the landlord, for example.
Well,
so why, one step forward, 20 steps backward?
That's the thing in Nigeria. We have a lot of issues that we need to address. Just like you mentioned, landlord tenant should not, because we have so many cases in the court. All these petty cases should not even come to court. We should be able to settle it. But let me tell you something. As a lawyer, I've been practicing for almost 10 years now. Most of the issue is the tenant. When we come to landlord and tenant, it's the tenant that causes problem. And then what we are always fighting against is landlord taking tenants or tenant taking landlord to police station. Police are not supposed to deal with civil matters. These are civil matters. They're supposed to go to court, follow the right channel. Even if your tenant has done one thing or the other, they're not supposed to come and throw his things out. And I also want to say that we cannot even compare those countries with Nigeria because the pitfalls are a lot. The gap is huge. So the reason why a tenant will say he wants to take his landlord to court, there are a lot of issues that are probably beneath that matter. It's probably the landlord is giving them bill for electrical and they are not seeing the light, or a lot of issues are beneath, and so because of that we can't compare. So for countries like that, all the things that the tenant needs to survive that month, for their house to be conducive, has been provided. So for that particular case, I feel that and they're even more law abided. UK just changed their laws on renting last month. I mean, what you find out is that the landlord, most people that I see, they are over there talking. The landlord will come, tell you that this is your right in accordance with the law. This is what you should do. I owe you this. But this is not the case in Nigeria. And I think that the problem is a lot of us do not even know the law. We don't know the law. We don't know what to report issues. We don't know what to do. I think that's where we need to start from, because even this our Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, a lot of people don't even know from things there. So exactly. So sometimes they are constantly violated and they don't even know where they are to. And I think that's why we're here to even talk about this judicial accountability and some of these issues. And it starts from the understanding that there is even a judicial space that we need to check. So your case has been delayed in court for a long period of time, adjournment over time. We have issues here and there. We don't record, we don't do recording of some of the issues, we don't document. So when they ask you what's happening, so they just adjourn my case over and over again. So what are the things, what are the evidence that you have, to even say that, if somebody wants to help you, or even if you want to report the case to NJC, right? You don't even have any evidence, you don't have anything to say. So it goes back to really understanding our judicial space, understanding some of these spaces we don't have ideas. You see a carpenter has a case in court, but it starts from you going to Google and check what is my rights, the VAP Act, the Constitution, what are the things that I must uphold as a citizen of Nigeria. And I think this goes back to each and every one of us. If we have that understanding, then we're able to understand that, okay, this is how to go about this particular issue. That's why we were talking about citizens going to the police on cases that are civil. Is it right? Is it wrong? So if we have, we have that understanding of the fact that this case is supposed to go to the court. This is what the law says about what this judge is about to say. That thing the judge said is not, because we have cases of contradictory judgments in courts, right? So how are you able to know that that case is contradictory to this particular? And there are instances of examples where we see that this judge ruled this particular manner. They took it to another court. We're seeing that is ruling. So how are you able to compare it? How do you know if you don't document, you don't look, at those particular issues and try to address them?
Yes, and on that case that we're talking of two different judgments, one thing we should know is the judges give judgment based on the facts of each case. So not two cases are the same. So you have to consider the situation, the context. That's why most times you find out that the judgments are different.